Welcome. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Set a spell. Tonight, I'm going to be sipping on some old granddad. And I've got a tall tale to tell. Pour a glass of your favorite whiskey. And sip along with me as I relay the ballad of the old granddad. An old legend has it that way back in 1792, after an evening of sipping bourbon in the Kentucky tavern with friends, an old granddad decided it was time to bite the bullet and head for home. As he donned his cloak, he bid his friends adieu and wondered whether the midnight moon would be bright enough to light his path through the woods. He didn't have to wonder for long. As he stepped through the door and into the crisp night air, he could see that there was plenty of moonshine, and his path through the Redwood Empire would be well lit. He turned toward Knob Creek, but hadn't yet decided whether he would follow the Long Branch through the wood and around Heaven Hill, or the Town Branch through Davies County and Woodinville. If he chose the latter, he could pay a visit to his uncle nearest. But being an old forester at heart, he decided on the former, hoping that perhaps he could catch a glimpse of an old elk, although he knew that the stag no longer roamed free in these hills, and nary a trace of buffalo would be found. Eagles were rare, but perhaps he might spot a Kentucky owl or a wild turkey. At least those had not yet become a rare breed. As he hiked down the wilderness trail, he reminisced about the evening's events and the fates that had brought the group together all those years ago. For him, it had been an opportunity for redemption, after an act that was a contradiction of everything he would come to stand for. He nearly lost his freedom after an act of larceny that marked an end to the early times and was the final rebel yell of a misspent youth. Thank goodness for that old ambler, Colonel E.H. Taylor, who intervened just as he was being sent to the big house after failing to make bond. Instead, he was drafted into the cavalry, where he served with that old scout, Elijah Craig. On this evening, the two were joined by Evan Williams and good old Overholt, along with his wry sense of humor. But tonight was special, as drinks with Henry McKenna had become fewer and further between. One could certainly find redemption in spending time with old friends. As he arrived home, he watched as an old crow took flight, frightened by the baying of Old Smoky, his bird dog, who eagerly greeted his approach. He stooped briefly to sniff the 4 roses growing near the front porch. His bones ached, and he was ready for a relaxing soak in his old tub. It had been a spirited evening that even the angels would envy. But now it was time for the devil to take his cut. He'd made his mark on the world, and if need be, this Kentucky gentleman was ready to go knocking on heaven's door. I do hope you enjoyed my tale as much as I enjoyed the telling. I'm wondering if you have a tall tale to tell that goes with your favorite bourbon. If so, I'd love to hear it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Y'all come back now, you hear? And thanks for watching.